The meeting will come to order. This is a meeting of the Littlestown Area Board of School Directors. This is a live in-person meeting taking place in the public in accordance with the Sunshine Act. By attending, you will comment publicly in this meeting. You are consenting to the recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting. This meeting is also being live streamed as a convenience to the public. In the event the live stream fails or cannot be transmitted for any reason, the in-person meeting will continue without interruption. And we are happy to announce that tonight for the first time we are live streaming via video and audio. Carrie, would you please call the roll?
Danielle Brenneman. Here. Tamari Brenneman. Here. Philip Perez.
Here.
Nick Lovell.
Here.
Jeannie Ewan. Here. Janelle Ressler. Here. Dwayne Sullivan.
Here.
Stephen Yerger.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Are there any board acknowledgements or announcements?
Last week we were sidetracked during our acceptance of Carl's resignation, so I just wanted to take a moment to thank Carl for his, I think, like 12, 13 years of service on our board, and we'll always remember him in his ugly Feliz Navidad Frito-Lay Christmas sweater. No, seriously, I think he liked your thing, but thank you, Carl. And then I also have one more. Our district mission is to build a solid foundation to prepare all students for life and career success. And I want to acknowledge our newly elected board president, Nick Lovell. He's a recent graduate of our district, and his journey from student representative in the middle school and high school to board member, and now board president, is not only inspiring, it's exactly what we hope for when we talk about building future leaders. He has shown maturity, intelligence, and a dedication to our district far beyond his years, all while keeping students, staff, and the community at the center of every decision. I also want to thank the teachers and staff who supported him throughout his time in our schools and helped build his solid foundation for our district mission. You helped shape a young man who is now giving back to in one of the most meaningful ways possible, public service. If we can ask our young people to vote, serve in the military, and take on adult responsibilities, we can and should celebrate them when they step up to lead our communities. Community members may not always agree on every decision, but I can hope we can all agree that passion, integrity, and commitment, not age, are what define a strong leader. I'm proud to serve alongside him, and I hope we can stay focused on why we're here, to support our students, our teachers, and the long-term success of our district.
I did not put her up there. Thank you very much for the kind words. Any other acknowledgements or announcements? All right. Moving forward, student representative reports. Ms. Rebecca Williams for the high school.
Hello. So we have a couple updates. The FFA Sweet Corn Day within the school will be held on Friday, September 19th. FFA students enrolled in the plant science class will be teaching elementary students about sweet corn, and the school food service will be serving FFA sweet corn that day at the cafeteria. The Astronomy Club is excited to have their first club meeting this month, and they hope to get a telescope this year to practice their star watching skills. And then the FBLA chapter is excited to begin a new school year in 2025. Our student officers have been hard at work planning fundraisers and events over the past few months in order to have a successful start to the year. We will have our first chapter meeting next Wednesday before school to inform our members about upcoming events, including our regional and state leadership workshops. As of now, we will be sending 17 members to the Kalahari Resort in the Poconos to attend the state workshop to make connections and gain applicable information in all things business. We look forward to a productive year here at the FBLA representing our school at the national, regional, and state levels. And that's all.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Are there any questions? All right, sounds like you get off easy tonight. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Building principal updates. First up, Dr. Becker.
All right, good evening, everyone. First thing I'd like to do is I'd like to thank Dr. Berryman because she spent the time last week informing us that the high school was named to the U.S. News and World Report Best Schools. That was something I intended to lean into tonight, but she did a great job, I think better than I would have, sharing some of the things that went into that and how they come up with the schools that make it on said list. I think it's clear that the hard work of the entire staff is obvious, and I would like to stress how proud that as a community everyone should be of them for landing in that place. Their commitment to the students and their success is really outstanding. And I'd also like to give Dr. Berryman a shout out as being the individual there while a lot of those things were happening. So congratulations to all that were involved, and I'm again just very happy to be there and working with them. So next thing I'd like to report that we're happy to have had a successful start to the school year. It's hard to believe we're like in week 5 at this point of the year already, and operations in the building are back into their, I would say, typical flow, even with the building construction continuing to happen. So speaking of that construction, yet another continued thank you to Victor Trone and their staff, and his team have really allowed us to continue to operate with minimal impacts, which is pretty amazing. With all the things that are happening up there, it's really no easy feat, so they have done a great job in allowing that to happen. And it's a nice position now because it's not even really that loud where they're at and what they're doing, so you can get away with what's happening in the building without it being disrupted. So next week we are nearing we're nearing next week's homecoming week, and I'd like to just urge everybody to join us for the parade, which would be at 6 o'clock. That's taking place next Friday, leading up to the game against that horrible Hanover place. Should be a very enjoyable week for our students as they show off their school pride. I went to Hanover, by the way, so I'm kind of allowed to say it. Finally, tomorrow is National IT Professionals Day. So again, a big thank you to Dr. Naylor and his team for the work that they do and put in each day. So I think we've all experienced technology difficulties in our life and the things that happen. And I know I would struggle to get through those if I didn't have somebody that I could call and get help from. So to his team and those that are helping us out and work through those problems, thank you, and we appreciate your help. That ends my report for the evening, if anyone has any questions.
Any questions for Dr. Becker? Thank you very much.
Also got to see all easy. All right.
Mrs. Golden.
Good evening. New students, including 6th graders and new enrollments and new staff, seem to be acclimating well and quickly. MAM staff is always willing to surround and support new members of our school community, and it makes me proud to see the care and thoughtfulness that they put into seeing each other and their students succeed. Another source of pride has been regarding student conduct and behavior. With almost a month of school under our belt, we have had very few discipline issues, all of which have been minor. Our students are generally very polite and use their manners as they travel through the school day. Student council elections are wrapping up, so next month we will have a middle school representative. Academically, we're finishing our fall iReady diagnostic testing. The results of this assessment not only provide personalized practice pathways for each student, but provides invaluable information to the teachers about where students need support. Luckily, it appears that our fall results will be highly valid and ready to direct instruction, as students have not been flagged for rushing, nor have they appeared to rush through it. They're taking it seriously and giving it their best effort, which gives us data we'd like to rely on. In the upcoming week, we will hold our first student child study team, CST, where we're going to discuss students who are demonstrating signs of struggle, academically, socially, or behaviorally. We will establish initial strategies to support these students and metrics to track and monitor their progress. Additionally, I will meet with each grade level and department to have our beginning of the year data chats. So we'll look at PSSA data, iReady data, any classroom data that we have, and we're going to answer a couple of questions. The first one is, what overall trends do we notice in student performance, and how does this compare to previous years or other district benchmarks? Which priority standards show the strongest mastery and which need targeted reteaching or new instructional approaches? How did different groups of students perform and where do we see gaps? And what do the open-ended constructive response scores reveal about students' ability to explain, justify, and apply their learning? And then coming up with a couple actionable steps that we can take as a team to address those gaps and build on our strengths. So that'll be in the coming week. Teachers' instructional goals, which we call SPM, student performance measures, are due at the end of the week. Taking cue from our building-wide focus on questioning and questioning strategies, which I mentioned, I think the last time I was up here. Many teachers have selected to create their professional development goal in that area. So I was very, very pleased that they kind of took their cue from our focus. Teachers will use what they're learning about questions and questioning to become more effective practitioners of questions in their classroom, to monitor student understanding, and to increase the rigor around the concepts that are taught. Despite the uncertainty associated with change in general, and just the upcoming changes in district leadership, Maple Avenue is working hard to do what's best for students, emphasizing accountability and high expectations. Questions?
Any questions for Mrs. Cole? All right.
Thank you so much.
Easy night for you all tonight.
I guess so. We'll take it.
Yeah. Mr. Moran.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity here. As Dave alluded to, we're a month into school, and to be more proud of what I see from our ACES team. We've had a great start to the school year. Students are really engaged, our staff's really engaged, and again, just very proud of their overall efforts. Tonight, I just really want to focus on three things. My two previous colleagues have sort of hinted a little bit to the two of the three, but my focus initially is on the PSSA analysis and reflection. So back in the summer in July, when we got our scores back, one of the tasks is I sent it out to our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade teachers. A little bit of a longer email, not too long, but just challenging them to analyze and look at our results and our information. What does that mean coming into the 25-26 school year, with a deadline of September the 30th for that complete analysis of that, but also for a one-on-one meeting with Mr. K and myself, Mr. K being the assistant principal. So here's some of the questions that were posed to them in part of that reflection. So they were asked to review and analyze the information on an individual basis first about their students, and then later as a team or as a grade level. So again, internal reflection first, grade level reflection second. What patterns or trends do I notice in the data? Which students are meeting the learning targets, which are not? Are there any outliers to the information? What standards or skills are students struggling with the most? How does that data compare to previous assessments? What worked well? What needs to be adjusted? How can I differentiate the instruction based on the results of the data? What resources or supports could help address the gaps? How can I set short-term goals based on the data that was collected? And then how can I use this data in my PLCs or grade level team discussions to influence instructional practices as we move forward? So some of the teachers were proactive and did that work over the summer. We've been able to start those internal meetings to start the year, and I've been very happy with the effort and the results of that preparation. Some other teachers are still working on that final analysis as we go through the next couple of weeks to get sort of a full, what I call a full report, and then I'll be sharing with Dr. Berryman, that feedback from the ACES team. So a lot of heavy lifting there and a lot of work being put in there as well. And that connects right into what we are doing with our ready assessments that was mentioned by Ms. Golden. We completed that. We have a couple students that are doing a makeup session or two. But overall, probably 99% of our students are finished. Teachers, again, are starting to look at that data, sort of comparing last year's students to this year's students. And then our focus is really on the individual goal setting with those students and working towards the next steps. And again, keep in mind as students go through teachers each year, whatever teacher they had last year, but the teacher that they had this year can see both results, the previous year and the current, what they just did here over the last 2 weeks. So that's been great for discussion, and also great for helping to improve instructional decisions and helping to align that with student needs. The final thing that we're working on here to start the year, that I want to share tonight, is really Mr. K and I with several new staff members turning over in our building, and then several non-tenured staff that aren't in the building, going for that 3-year window. We just made a conscious effort to be out, supporting them inside their classroom, helping them to transition into the school year, being in those supportive, positive conversations that impact classroom environment, building relationships to start the school year, and then obviously now that we're into school, working through the instructional elements of what we need to do to help our students grow and move forward and keep them at the center of what we're doing. So that sort of concludes my report for September.
Any questions for Mr. Moran?
Mr. Moran,
Yes.
you had a chance to evaluate the PSSA scores, as you just stated. I didn't have a chance to review them yet, but how did they look from the previous year?
Yeah, I think, and I don't have that data right in front of me. All the
I didn't mean to
details.
put you in a spot.
That's okay, I don't have a problem answering the question. So I'm very happy with the effort that our team is putting in. There's some very positive results that's in that data. I know Dr. Berryman has been sharing some of that information out with the school board. And then obviously there's some areas that we need to continue to focus on work, and that's really part of what that task was about, is identifying our strengths of where students will be very successful, continue those practices, but also looking at where we may have struggled. Even though that group moves to a different grade level, there's another group of students coming in, we can make sure that we're targeting those areas for the new group so we don't repeat, for lack of a better way to say it, an area that may be in a little bit of a deficit. We can make sure we put some more instructional time into that to help support our students and our staff.
So you're actively in the diagnosis mode to correct the problem for future students that come through.
Sure. Yeah, any assessment we're giving our students, whether it's a daily assessment inside the classroom with the teacher or it's a state assessment, we're always looking to help improve our students and move them forward in the right way and support our staff with the right resources and curricular needs.
Are you seeing the iReady correlate to the PSSA yet?
We are in the process, so there's a crosswalk that iReady has that correlates between PSSA and iReady. That is also part of the task that the staff was asked to do last year, is to coordinate the crossover between those two data points and to see is there consistent reliability on proficiency or not. So we're in the middle of that process.
Okay, great. We'll hear more later.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
If I could, for just 1 minute.
Sure.
So the student data that the principals have is the preliminary data. So it is the data tied to those individual students so they can start digging into it and analyzing it. As far as the overall percentages for each grade level and where they fell last year, we're still waiting for the final data. So
Okay.
everything that we received over this number is preliminary. That's why you guys don't have final numbers yet.
Thank you.
But I will tell you the preliminary data looks good.
Good, thank you.
It's moving in the right direction.
That's good.
And
I'm
Julia,
glad.
Dr. Byrne, I think you shared that with us at the curriculum committee too, when we had asked about that as well.
Is that where, okay,
Yeah.
I knew that I had shared it with
Yes.
some, but I didn't want to, so I apologize if some were left out. Yes, there were some movement in quite a few areas, some areas we still need to keep working on, but it's positive. Yeah.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Moran? Thank you, Mr. Moran. All right, Thunderbolt Foundation report with Mrs. Becker.
I have an abbreviated point. Fall allergies have taken my voice. Anybody that knows me, this is my voice in the fall. So just a brief update. Shout out to Kahnawake Enterprises. They once again have given us a donation of $1,200 that will help to cover the costs of students that are taking part in welding classes. So we have received that, the students have received their equipment, and that is just one of the many partnerships that we have that bring in a great resource for our students. Dolly Park Imagination Library, I'm happy to announce that officially Thursday of last week has gone to a county-wide program. So not only now are children in the Littlestown School District able to receive free books monthly, any child that resides in Adams County is now eligible. And there is a fund that was started by the Thunderbolt Foundation, the Adams County Community Foundation, that is holding funds to support We have gotten support from every town within the community. So what that means is that now every child will have the opportunity to receive books like The Very Hungry Caterpillar's Nature Walk, The Underlying Magic, or my personal favorite, K is for Kindness. So this is a book that is a good read, has a lot of really good things in there for children. So I'm really excited about that and my partnership with the Adams County Library. And I am continuing, now I volunteer with them, and I'm continuing with them to help enroll. Enrollment as of today was 522. So we had 212 for Littlestown whenever the program, and no bumps for our kiddos, they just go right into that. We will be meeting as a board on this Wednesday, and we will be developing our goals for the year and looking at what we are going to be bringing to help support beyond what we currently already do for the district. So I'm looking forward to getting back to the board to take the summer off. So I'm looking forward to getting back with my board and getting their heads together. And would like to thank Dr. Mitchell, who resigned from our board. He was a member. We will be welcoming Dr. Berryman in his place as we have a seat on our board for an administrative person. So thank you and welcome. Even though you're not officially till Wednesday, I can do that in advance. And then I will be hanging around to discuss the donation portion, if you have any questions about that process. And that's it for me. Short and sweet, which is an offer with me, so.
Any questions for Mrs. Becker? Thank you, Mrs. Becker. We now recognize members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium and state your name, confirm you are a resident or taxpayer in the district, and the topic of discussion. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole and not to an individual. We ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or a recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. And the board would also like to ask that in accordance with our policies and procedures that all that sign up to provide public comment, please fill out the entire form, including your topic of discussion. We thank those that did. Going forward, please fill out the entire form for the district's records. First speaker is Rachel Hutchison.
Thank you. My name is Rachel Hutchison, and I am a resident of Littlestown. I have children that have graduated from the schools and one currently in the high school. I'm a taxpayer, and I am also running for school board in the November election. So I'm going to touch on two things, finances, and then the other one's just a couple of notes on the acting superintendent information. So just a reminder, and I know you don't need reminders about the financial situation in Pennsylvania, and we're still awaiting that budget. I just want to remind the board and everyone that it's extremely important that the state budget gets approved with the additional funding for schools throughout the entire Commonwealth. Cyber school reform is included in there to help give monies back to the districts, monies that we have been from court order, basically. The Supreme Court of the Commonwealth stated that we were underfunded. 70% of the districts in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are underfunded in the amount of money they receive from the state. Because we can't put every single dollar burden on our community members. We need to be advocating for the Commonwealth to make these changes. And I think it is our role, not just as community members, but as you, the board, to help us with that. So contacting our state legislatures and reminding them that it's important that they're properly funding schools. just about every person is going to say that properly funded schools are important to our future. I don't know many people that would say it isn't. So I ask for your support in that matter. And I do know, there was a comment, this is a statewide issue. This isn't just a Littlestown issue, but that actually gives us a great point in time where we, as districts across the entire Commonwealth, can stand up and say, no, we're not going to stand for this, we need change. So I say we all work together to do that. I also took the time to read through the minutes, saw that we do have the approval of an acting superintendent on the list. I did my own little Googling and looking, and I was very excited to see the experience of Dr. Al Moyer. He has past experience as a superintendent. He was director of McDaniel's Educational Leadership Program and also is currently a member of the Gettysburg Area School District Board of Directors. So I was happy to see that someone with that amount of experience and breadth was both applied in such a short time frame and also selected by the board. I know there were a lot of questions that came up at the last board meeting. Should there be an acting superintendent? Should someone who's currently in staff, be put into that role? Just a note, I stepped out of the meeting, had a conversation with some folks, and actually really helped me because it put some things in my mind that I hadn't thought of, but I also didn't hear the board speaking to. For instance, teachers are a lot of administration, stuff like that, that's contractual, it's very different than the normal world, the normal corporate world. When somebody left, you got told you're doing their job too, tough, that's how it works. If that's not how it works here, then explain that. Maybe say, hey, we can't just put those duties on someone else. Not saying that those people aren't qualified, but they have the opportunity to apply if they'd like to step into that role or something like that. I think it just helps the community to better understand what's going on when we hear those explanations. And that was really it. I'm just excited to see Dr. Al Moyer come on. I want to thank Dr. Mitzel for the time he spent with me meeting to help me understand more about the board and its roles, and good luck.
Suzanne Johnson. And Ms. Johnson, what's your topic for the record?
I know that's your preference, but I'm not required. My name is Suzanne Johnson, and as a district parent and taxpayer, I'm outraged by the way politics and personal agendas have corrupted this school board. This isn't leading with integrity or transparency, and isn't putting students first. Clearly, things have gone seriously off the rails when there are 2 superintendent and 4 board member resignations in less than 2 years. And you cannot correct course and restore public confidence unless you act with the utmost integrity and transparency. And I'm not talking about aiming for the bare minimum that you can get away with. First, let's be clear. I haven't heard anyone arguing that we don't want someone to complete the superintendent duties upon the resignation of Dr. Mitzel. No one's saying that. If you listen to what many of your constituents, including the previous speaker, had alluded to, they would like to do this in the most cost-neutral way, which is to have the assistant superintendent serve as acting superintendent. We have seen many districts doing this, including Dover, where Dr. Mitzel is heading. After their assistant superintendent was acting superintendent before being promoted to superintendent. We are again asking why this board is supporting more spending on central office positions when you're relying on rainy day funds for our students' needs, such as the autism classroom. And you're reducing classroom positions through retirement, such as our middle school math teacher, despite only 18% of our 8th graders being proficient in math. That's where you should be spending money, not on central office. But you want us to believe you're putting students first. Beyond the additional cost of at least $1,500 per week for the proposed acting superintendent contract, you don't instill confidence that you're looking for the best leadership possible when that vacancy was posted on the website for a grand total of 3.5 business days. Wow, you're casting a wide net there. Without putting the resignation of the superintendent or creation of a new position on agendas for open meetings to allow for public comment before taking the action of posting that position. Then we all see Gettysburg School Director Al Moyer at last week's meeting, and we put the pieces together that he was there for the interviewing that was being done last week, and that this rushed and questionable process must have been the last straw leading to President Thompson's resignation following school director lawyers and Superintendent Mitchell's resignations. There are potential conflicts of interest concerns with a Gettysburg School Board member serving as our acting superintendent in this district, which is considered a 10th member of our school board, so how can he be on 2 school boards at once? I don't know. Further, it isn't clear how Mr. Moyer can fulfill some of his duties in the proposed contract, which specifies, quote, "The acting superintendent will attend all board meetings and committee meetings and devote his full-time attention, energy, skills to his office, and will undertake all duties required as acting superintendent," end quote. What happens, like tonight, when there's a Gettysburg School Board meeting and a Littlestown School Board meeting at the same time? I can only assume that's why he isn't here this evening. How can he really devote his full time to being acting superintendent for Littlestown while he also has obligations to his Gettysburg area school district's constituents and to his responsibilities as director of the Gettysburg Recreation Council? Will he be resigning from the Gettysburg School Board or Recreation Council to really devote his full-time attention to being Littlestown's acting superintendent? I strongly urge this board to reconsider this candidate and alternatively consider the most cost-neutral solution of having the assistant superintendent serve as acting superintendent, just as many other districts have done. There are transparent ways to handle transition of the highest administrative positions in this district that instill public confidence in school leadership. Instead, what's being done is illegal and reeks of corruption. At the November 4th general election, voters need to demand change for what's best for students, teachers, and taxpayers. Finally, with the new announcement this evening, I'm looking forward to seeing the results of the district's new video streaming of the board's meetings. Since I haven't heard discussion of the cost at any board meetings, I can only assume it didn't have anywhere near the cost of $50,000 or $80,000 or whatever it was that was quoted 2 years ago, and was the excuse to limit recording to audio instead of video up to this point. Thank you.
Wayne Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan, do you have a topic that you're going to be addressing?
Oh, it's various. First off, I want to address a misconception that I've heard twice now in public comment about state funding. What everybody's failing to realize is when you're asking for more state money, what you're asking for is more taxpayer money. Now, you can say we didn't raise taxes this year, you can say that, which we didn't, that's fine. But on the other end, if we ask for more state money, the state doesn't produce anything. They get the money from us. So it's disingenuous to say don't raise taxes, but we need more money from the state. The state's going to get it from us. So if they do get it, they do give us more money, well, our taxes are going to go up. They may not go up as property taxes, but they're certainly going to go up as state taxes. We all pay. So that, I need you to straighten that up, number one. Number two, I want to address Dr. Mitchell's resignation tonight. I'm upset. I talked to Fred Miller about this too, about the fact that we have wasted a lot of money, over $4,000 to do the superintendent search. And to no avail, me and Fred stood up and said, we didn't pick the right person. And nobody listened to me, or Fred. And here we are. This is where we're at. Not even a year later, Dr. Mitchell has resigned. I think that we should do a better job of vetting and understanding who we're hiring for that position, or any position therefore. Because to be honest with you, I spent a lot of my time doing this, and I feel like I've wasted it. Just like I said back on 6/17/2024, I wasted my time. Fred said it too. Fred asked me to speak. Fred's only 2 words was good riddance. That's what he told me to say. That's what he told me to say. I did not say that. Fred Miller said that. So I will clarify that by saying, you know, I wish this board would do a better job of getting a superintendent that will come in here and advance this district in ways that it needs to be advanced, not cause discourse, lack of transparency, all the other stuff that's been going on in this district for too long is still going on. I'm hoping that the next move on the next superintendent pick will be something that will definitely bring our district a whole different view. Because I would like to see Littlestown, I've often said, I would like to see Littlestown as the place everybody wants to come. Right now, I talk to people, and I talk to a lot of people, and they are saying this is the place you want to move away from. And to be honest with you, that's sad. That's really sad. I don't like living in a district where people are telling me that. I mean, every one of you should feel the same way I do. We should want people to come here for this school. We should want people to come here for Littlestown's education. Now, the administrators, the teachers, and all, they do a great job, but it's only the tools that we give them. We give them the tools. They can only work with it so much. So we need to do a better job of trying to get that focused. And that's what I'm really about. I would like to see this district succeed. The board's been shaken up multiple times. It's been unsteady at best. And I would just like to see us start focusing on what the district can do to make the students and make it more presentable for people to want to move here. And that's basically all I really wanted to say tonight. I want to thank you all for listening to me, and I appreciate it for your time. And you all have a great evening. Thank you.
Sandy Yerger.
Hi, I put down general because there's a couple different things, but I'm a taxpayer, I'm a resident of Littlestown. And first I just want to say congratulations to Dr. Berman and all the administration and staff for the statistics that she shared last week. Very positive and very encouraging to hear. Then I want to just add my experience with Dr. Moyer, who's considered for the interim superintendent. I've been part of the Adams County Council on Governments, and in which he participates and contributes in that regards, especially as his general supervision of the Gettysburg Area Rec Authority. But I've found him knowledgeable, in general, sincere, and willing and able to work with a variety of people to accomplish goals. So I think he'll work well with the board and the staff, and accomplish what you all are having him here for until we find a permanent replacement for Dr. Mitchell. Congratulations, I hope you enjoy your new position. And lastly, I hope and believe that we're all saddened by the events of this last week with the murder of Charlie Kirk. Whether you agreed with his views or not, he was willing to discuss and listen to people. Making our voices heard in that way can bring collaboration, which is a real needed trait today, whereas angry rhetoric and accusations can affect others in negative ways. I hope we all have a desire to not have any repeats of that violence or any other words that could cause others to act in that manner. I believe that this board, each person individually, considers the information and that they're received and does what they believe is for the good of the district, taking into account their constituents and what they hear and see from the staff and the people who live here. And just a reminder that we have an avenue for a change. If people are interested, those are elections, which we have coming up. So hopefully everybody will make their voice heard. And we all do our best to work together to make Littlestown School District a good place to be. Thank you.
Mr. Walker, I have a clarifying question because of an accusation that was made. Do you in any way view the board's actions in appointing going through the process of appointing an acting superintendent as illegal or in any ways has been alleged?
We posted a position and the position's on the agenda for approval, correct?
Correct.
I don't see a problem with
Okay. Before we move forward tonight, I'd like to take a moment to address some of the issues and concerns that have surrounded our board over the past several months. We have experienced a period of significant change, such as board turnover, leadership transitions, and a lot of outside noise and social media narratives that have at times misrepresented the work of this board. We've also heard objections raised under the Sunshine Act and questions about transparency. Our solicitor has reviewed these matters, and consistently those objections have been found to be without merit. That said, I acknowledge that concerns exist and that public trust matters. This board is and will remain committed to following the law, to increasing transparency, and to earning the confidence of our community. We take seriously our responsibility to conduct business openly, lawfully, and in a way that invites confidence. Moving forward, you can expect this board to be extremely diligent in ensuring that we comply with the Sunshine Act, Pennsylvania school law, and all board policies, procedures, and guidelines. And when needed, we will enforce those standards so that our governance is fair, transparent, and consistent. It's also important to remember that your school board members are unpaid volunteers. Each of us give countless hours away from our families and work because we care deeply about the Littlestown Area School District and providing the best possible education for our students. As we turn the page on these past issues, our focus must return to where it belongs, on educating and supporting our students. The energy of our board and community is far better spent on improving opportunities for our kids than on division, disputes, and online negativity. So tonight I am inviting our entire community, parents, students, staff, and residents, to join us in a spirit of cooperation. Support us, hold us accountable with respect and understanding, and keep us in your prayers. Work alongside us as we move forward together. If we can do that, if we can choose unity and purpose over conflict, we will make the Littlestown Area School District stronger and better for every child that we serve. And moving forward with the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the August 18th, 2025 regular board meeting minutes?
So moved.
Have a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Steve Yeager, second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the September 2nd, 2025 Curriculum, Co-Curriculum Policy Committee meeting minutes?
So moved, Janelle Wessler.
Motion on the floor. Is there a second?
Second, Danielle Brenneman.
Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Form of motion, sorry, I'm used to can I have a motion to approve September 8th, 2025 work session minutes?
So moved, Mary Brenneman.
Is there a second?
Steve Yeager, second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Finance report from Steve.
Okay, if there's anybody that would like a letter pulled, please let me know. I personally would like to have a pulled, please.
I'd like to pull F1 and F4. Yeah.
Any other letters to be pulled? Hearing none, I would like recommended approval for B, C, D, E, and we'll just pull it. Do I have?
I have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Second, Phil Price. Moved and seconded to approve Finance, Property, and Supply Committee meeting items B, C, D, and E. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. On
A, I would like to put a shout out to Offer Ministries, a donation of $1,212. The Septron Telescope, about a $3,000 donation from a Mark Conley, donated to the Science Department for Astronomy. The 130 copies of the U.S. Constitution by the 917 Society, and also the courtyard donation of 92 to 100,000 from Hanover Architectural and the Thunderbolt Foundation. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And so do all of the students.
So you're making a motion.
Yeah, thank you. Make a motion for A.
All right. I have a motion on the floor to recommend approval of donations 1 through 4. Is there a second?
Second, Janelle Esler.
Seconded. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Becker, do you want to talk a little bit about?
I know you're still approved, but wanted to show you what it's going to look like and the opportunities that this is going to present for our students at the high school. So this is the area that is the updated that we've been working on with Hanover Architectural. So this is a space beside the cafeteria where you go in the back area that will be totally renovated at no cost. It is going to be a beautiful space for so many different learning opportunities and opportunities for kids to just gather together. What I most like about it is that it's a place where the kids can be proud. As you can see, we have branding out there. It has a Littlestown L that is inside the learning. Classes can go out there. Can you just show the other one? So this is sort of like looking down just to give you an idea of what it will be. And where you see the triangles, those are actually the lights that will go across to give it a little bit more effect in that area. Did you get that other one I sent you?
That was too.
Okay, we're good. So this is a tremendous gift and another sign of how partnerships are working together in a positive manner. The area in the back will be the learning commons. So I know the principals had an opportunity to give a little bit of input, and part of the reason for leaving it open is that it also, classes can go out there. I can envision ceremonies like NHS ceremonies, being held out there in more intimate, weather permitting space. It also gives the opportunities that we're also looking at, including in there places for the kids to eat that would have umbrellas and shaded areas. I have some more pictures that will be coming to show that. But this is a tremendous thing from Hanover Architectural, and I was so proud when they came to us. And just to give you the background, this gift occurred when 2 years ago, some of you might recall, I had a team of students that, my marketing team that went out, and when Dr. Berryman and myself and these 3 students went out and they did their little pitch with them, at the end of it, they looked at the 3 students and they said, "We'd like to do your courtyard." This is because of LHS students. This is why it came about that were working with me. And after this is approved, I plan on texting them and letting them know what they have done. It's going to be beautiful. So timeline, it will depend on weather. So I can't tell you a timeline for that. So it'll either be possibly fall, if weather cooperates, and if not the fall, then it would go in the spring. But this is a total gift from Hanover Architecture.
They also did something at Allen.
I'm sorry.
They also did things at Allen Creek.
Yes, yes, they
And
did.
their children came through our school district, so.
Yes, they did. And they are very giving to our community and support education and bring that positive vibe of giving back and supporting, because this means a lot to them to do this for our school. And every time that I've had conversations with them, they didn't care about the cost. All that they cared about is the opportunities that it was going to provide for the children in the school district. And that is the purpose of this gift. Yes, it's a beautiful spot, but more importantly, it's for the children. And they understand that and get that. I can't wait for the middle school and high school kids to be able to utilize that space and to be in there. That building is just going to open up so many positive opportunities for the kids. My voice is almost over. Do you have any questions about anything in there? Like I said, it'll be beautiful. Grays and browns and.
Yeah, if I may.
Yeah.
I just want to thank the foundation. I want to thank Dr. Becker, Mrs. Golden, Alex from Hanover Architectural for coming, speaking with us and really taking us through all of the processes, the building material, the items that are there. Victor overseeing this. This is a very generous donation from Hanover Architectural, and it will absolutely benefit the educational value of that area and also the social aspect, what we provide our students. It's a great area. So I just want to thank everyone for their input and everyone for being part of that process.
And the best part, the materials used are top of the line. And the porcelain tile, it doesn't stain. And so, so that if something would happen out there, it was, Victor Trone worked very closely with us on this also, making sure that everything fit into that space. So, I can't wait till it's done. Maybe we can have a board meeting there. I'll host it. So do you have any other questions about this?
Thank you very much, and thank you once again to all of the donors, Proper Ministries, Celestial Telescope, donated to Constitutions.
Project 917.
917 Society, and Architecture. Thank you so much for your donations to our district and for investing in the education of our students. All right, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, so we have a poll. Recommend approval for item 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7.
I have a motion on the floor to approve payment of invoices 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Do I have a second?
Second, Mary Brennan.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, bold F1.
Just for a vote, separate vote.
What's a separate vote count?
Well, no, I mean, you gave me, but.
Okay. We make a motion for F1 on a separate vote count.
I have a motion on the floor to approve payment of invoices item 1, general fund checks. Do I have a second?
Second, Phil Price.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The only thing I want to say on that is, once again, if you get a chance to look over the solicitor invoices, thank you, Dr. Mitchell and Tom. I just wanted to state that before we vote on it. That's about it.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay. F4, we have a motion on the floor to address F4.
So that was a motion to approve that board?
That's right, thank you.
You're stealing my line, I'm stealing yours. Okay. We have a motion on the floor to approve F4 capital project checks. Is there a second?
Second, Mary Brennan.
Is there any discussion?
The only thing I want to say is these were original projects that I didn't approve in the first place, so that's why I wanted to separate it. Thank you.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries.
Okay, treasury report is noted. Number 7.
Oh, I want to make a general statement on that to Tom. Thank you. Good job correcting the general fund by the year to date. Looks better. Thank you.
And the report.
All right, under personnel, does anyone have any items they wish to be pulled? Any others?
I want to pull I.
C and I.
C2.
All right, can I have a motion to recommend approval of items A, B, D, E, F, G, and H? Can I have a motion for that?
So moved. Wayne Sullivan.
Second, Steve Yoder.
All right, and seconded, any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve staff resignations 1, 3, and 4?
So moved, Mayor Raymond.
Is there a second? All in favor, or any discussion?
Just one quick note, without saying anything. I was a bit concerned about one of them. I'm assuming somebody's on that situation. Without saying.
If you want to talk about a personnel item, that's...
Right, that's what I mean.
So we can go to executive session if you want.
No.
Before we vote.
No. We don't have to.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the resignation of Timothy Mitchell, superintendent, effective September 19th, 2025? Doesn't say that. Just reading it. Can I have a motion to approve? Apparently they don't want to get rid of you. Wow.
John Westler.
Is there a second?
Second, Danielle Brennan.
Discussion. I'd like to, first of all, say on behalf of the board, thank you very much for your time that you spent here in the district, and we wish you the best of luck as you move on into your new position at Dover.
Thank you. If I may, I would just like to thank the board for the opportunity that you provided me a year ago. I would say that I love this district, I love the staff, the students, the community. It's a great community. I feel like I'll always be a Thunderbolt at heart. I would also just like to share that I will gain back about 10 hours of my life per week from my commute. So there's absolutely nothing other than that. It is close with a 6-month-old grandson that I just spent the weekend with, elderly parents that live close by. It is absolutely something that weighs on my heart. It was a very difficult decision to do so. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to the community. I'm very excited for this new opportunity, and I'm excited for what Littlestown will do in the future.
Thank you, Dr.
And we just want to say that you've come back several times to the Littlestown Area School District, so. And in many different positions. And good luck with your grandchild and many more, and your parents, and in Dover.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Oh, thank you, Dr. And good luck in your future.
Thank you.
Again, thank you. Thank you, Doug.
And I was just driving a week,
All right. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the acting superintendent agreement with Dr. Al Moyer effective September 2nd, 2023?
Second, Steve Yoder.
Seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes. have some severe reservations when it comes to Mr. Allen Boyer.
Doctor.
Well, well, that's fine, doctor. Considering this board, most every member of this board, not everyone, is an ACRC member with him. You all knew him from the beginning. Number two, his resume came in the day before we even advertised the job. And he was the only one who applied in such short notice. I fail to see how this guy just fell out of the sky. I just do. And I do know that his wife worked for Janelle campaigning for her on May 20th, the election, outside the Y. So there's a whole lot of conflict here that I don't like. And that's one of the reasons why I spoke out tonight. I think this person was brought here to do this, and I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with how this went down. I think it's very political, obviously. And I think we could have done a better job advertising and vetting more people instead of doing it in 3 days and 2 weekend days. But here we are, so that's what I wanted to say on this.
Well, I don't know Alan Boyer, but I just want to say he had a great interview. He had a great resume, and I really appreciated that he has experience with zero-based budgeting and curriculum review. So I think both of those are very good for us.
And also just to note, we had a good discussion overall, vetting. A lot of people were just discussing the superintendent position. And had everybody been here during that meeting, they would understand where we're coming from.
Those things were in the news before we ever read that.
Public knowledge.
Before we ever got to make a decision on how we were going to. So if somebody sent something in before we made our decisions, they got it from the news.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carries. End of personnel report under curriculum and policy. Item A is noted for discussion. Do we need to do B and C separate, or do we do them together? Can I have a motion to approve CCP items B and C?
So moved, Mayor Brennan.
Second, Pressler.
Any discussion?
Again, I'd like to thank the board for taking the time for curriculum meeting to address this issue and actually bring forth a organizational chart that I deem to be correct. Thank you.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Yerger, ACTI report.
There was a discussion that they've narrowed down land searches down to 2 parcels, but there's a lot of hoops that we have to jump through with local governments, local utilities. There's a lot of discussion to be able to see how this is going to move forward. And, you know, that's what they're really trying to concentrate on right now. And there will be more information coming in my next one.
All right, there's nothing for the SBA. For the final comment, Dr. Mitchell, superintendent.
Thank you. Just to share a little bit, and after Carrie's finished, like,
Let's finish the sentence.
you can pull the document out. This past July, the administrative team completed 2.5 days worth of retreat, focusing on communication and working to develop a long-range vision. At its conclusion of August, the team met again to review what individuals, buildings, and departments had put together independently of each other. And what resulted was this document that I had put together to review all of the desired future realities of the district. We worked heavily with a book study, The 3 Laws of Performance by Zaffron and Logan, which allowed us to take a look at what context we live in and what future reality we would like to have and how to get there. So it was very encouraging that this administrative team developed ideas independently, and when shared collectively, they all fell under the same umbrella. So we all aligned with what we wanted. Next slide, please, Karen. So from this, and you'll be able to visit this in the future and see it on the website, as a result of our book study survey results and our relation of both of those to the 24-25 goals that we had all set, we all desire to have a student-centered approach. We all desire to make sure that we are collaborative in nature. We all desire to make sure that we have common assessments and real-world applications that are there. In this document on the second slide, you'll also see highlighted in blue items that we as an administrative team saw and recognized in alignment with proposed board goals. So as the board met with me on July 15th, we began discussing proposed goals for the district, and one of those items is the improved academic success. So as you see, you'll see other items that the board had decided that they would like to have as proposed goals that align with our building administrators and our central office staff. Oh, one more. There we go. We've also looked at a future reality that identifies behavioral goals, school safety, and staff morale and culture. These are 3 items that this board decided were worthy of consideration for board goals moving forward. Trying to make sure that we have discipline in our schools, make sure that we have safety measures in place, and make sure that we have a staff that builds a culture of collaboration and increases the morale of each other. Additionally, and lastly, we really looked at the continued community relations, transparency, which works to ensure accountability, and again, these areas of focus provide an umbrella that all building administrators work together to identify what our desired future reality would be for each building or each department. And if we could go to the very last slide, this really speaks the best. Action moving forward. Our administrators, building and department administrators, reviewed all of their desired future realities and placed them into measurable and attainable goals moving forward. It doesn't necessarily mean that these goals will be realized within 1 year's time, but it means that they are working toward that desired future reality that has students at the center, that has success at the heart of what we do, and transparency and accountability, all while being safe and making sure that we have strong discipline measures within our buildings. So I would also just like to say at the conclusion, thank you, Carrie, that's the end of that slide for our desired future reality. I would also just like to share this. I know that you thanked me earlier, but I just want to say to the community of Littlestown, since August 2021, I have been fortunate enough to work with an outstanding group of teachers and administrators who place student success above themselves. They partner with parents who wish to expand opportunities for students, and it worked with a community filled with pride and purpose. I leave knowing that I've been part of creating and implementing a graduation policy that prepares our students for career or college success, a curriculum revision cycle and process that ensures all curriculum is never more than 3 years old, and the development of a Master's of Education program for new teachers straight out of college that costs them no out-of-pocket money to begin and go through and develop their abilities. As Mr. Lovell shared, tonight's board meeting is the very first to provide a live video stream for the community engagement, and I am proud to say that this feature is made possible through the efforts of an outstanding IT department and board secretary who worked to make sure that this was provided for the board. Lastly, I want to say that I leave the district and the school directors with an opportunity to offset the costs of much-needed capital improvements with revenue from real estate sales that will be coming forth. This allows the board to improve campus quality for students and staff while not overburdening the taxpayers of the community. These projects will provide additional streams of revenue as well as plant the seeds of community development and a process in place for that and the continued success of Littlestown. I am proud to leave this district with systems in place, ensuring that all departments work together independently and collaboratively. And I would just say that during our administrative retreat, we really came together to say each of us is mutually invested in one another's success. And as long as a system truly has individuals that are invested in one another's success, they can always help the team win. So it's been an honor and privilege, and I thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell.
Oh, there is one other item, sorry. I'm going to provide the board with copies of the results of the community survey that were released. I did share with the board that I would be providing them. This document will go onto the board website tomorrow as a pop-up or as an item for folks to be able to see. It is a result of what we received from the board, what we received from the community. I would remind everyone that we surveyed students, we surveyed staff, employees, support staff, administrative staff, teaching staff. We surveyed parents. We also surveyed the community. So this is a compilation of all of that information for the community to be able to see. Now that ends my report. I apologize for extending.
Any questions for Dr. Mitchell? Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. Under old business, the FMX report, monthly enrollment report, and LIU board meeting minutes are noted. Following adjournment, the board will hold a special session to conduct interviews for a board vacancy. Is there any new business to be brought before the board?
I do. Just want to make sure, I know I say this every months, but we want to finish the board goals. We could do a retreat to completely finish that. And then I was wondering if we could do like a board highlights after meetings, like on our district Facebook, social media, and website, just to say, hey, look, this is what highlights from the meeting or whatever. I'm just suggesting. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. It's just new business, but we can like put that on the agenda. I don't know. Is that a curriculum thing? Or?
That's the discussion. Do other school board members have thoughts, comments on that? Yeah. Highlights? Yeah. Social media, website?
District website. I mean, I don't mean a school board Facebook page or anything, but like on the district. Like, hey, this is what top highlights from the board meeting or curriculum meeting or whatever. Is that okay? I'm not saying it's going to be you, Carrie.
It's going to be.
Dave, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that's an action that requires a vote.
Yeah.
So is there consensus amongst the board to allow leadership to work with Carrie to start implementing and developing that? Yes?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other new business?
Yes, I'd like to call for executive session, post adjournment of this meeting to ask the solicitor about some legal matters.
Okay.
Oh, you mean before the special session?
Do we want to do before or after the special session? You want to do the interviews first?
That's fine, that's fine.
Does the new person, can the new person do executive session? They're not sworn in yet? Gotcha. So it doesn't matter.
Correct, Dave?
Correct.
I have one other item under new business. I'd like to gauge the board's thoughts on changing the process for reviewing solicitor reports and invoices. Currently, the process that the board members have to request to meet with the superintendent at some point during the work week. I'd like to recommend something along the lines of board leadership and the superintendent being available approximately 20 to 30 minutes before the regular board meeting to review those invoices and reports with any interested board members prior to the meeting.
Would that mean that they can't come in and do it if they want to?
If they would want to, they certainly could. I think that this would give board members easier access because they would be coming in anyway. They're coming into the meetings. And I think that it would also free up the superintendent and Tom and the staff during the day so that that's one less thing on their plate during the week.
Do you have a comment?
Would you know? In the perspective of transparency, it's always been and has been protocol since December of 2023 when I came on the board for me to obtain solicitor invoices. It got changed when everybody started changing it, but the point of the matter is it makes it very inconvenient for the superintendent, Tom, and everybody else to be doing it that way. Now, we get what's called solicitor reports. We get them sent by email. We read them. They're confidential. It's over. I don't know why we're thinking about restricting the solicitor invoices. I've been reading those invoices.
We're not restricting, we're saying,
Well,
instead of making you come in during the day, they'd be available.
Yeah, but that's only 20,
before
that's
then.
only 20, 30 minutes before a meeting. That's, your mind's going 1,000 miles per hour when you get here.
Well,
That's
like
not
I
the
said,
time.
I never saw a solicitor bill.
Well, and that's your problem. That's your problem.
I'm saying,
You should be
4
seeing
years on the
them.
board, nobody ever gave that to us.
Nobody does but me.
So let's.
No, I mean, that's.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm fine with coming in.
I
30
don't,
minutes, 30 minutes earlier, if able, to look at the, and before a meeting. If that frees up our administration,
Yeah.
absolutely.
freeze them up just to give them to me. By law.
They'd still be available early.
No, paper to me would be nice. Just like they used to.
Well, there's a reason
Never
we
had an
can't.
issue.
Go ahead, Dave, do you have a comment on this?
Yeah, so I'll jump in on this, just because there always seems to be a lot of conversation about these invoices. They're available, like, they are for the board. You as the board are the client, right? There's nothing in there that you shouldn't be aware of generally, unless maybe it's confidential student matter, but we wouldn't put that much information in there. And I have no problem with any member of this board seeing those invoices. I've offered to make myself available to answer questions on those invoices, but that offer has not been taken up on. I think the concern arose and board leadership changed the process related to this because there was a fear that the information would be shared out to the public and the board would be waiving the attorney-client privilege and potentially exposing the district to liability. So these processes and procedures are in place to protect the board at the direction of the board leadership and to protect the district at the direction of board leadership so that we don't lose the attorney-client privilege with respect to the information that's in there. This is entirely up to you. What I want to say here in front of everybody and the public as a whole, there's nothing in there that this board can't see. This is just to make sure that everyone is seeing the same information and information is not getting leaked. Is that accurate and fair?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And the current procedures were put in place under previous board leadership. Current board leadership sees potential for improvement of the procedures that better balances board member access with confidentiality concerns.
I just love how we talk about confidentiality concerns. Has anybody been convicted of leaking confidential solicitor invoices other than Janelle Ressler? Other than Janelle Ressler?
Excuse me.
In a public meeting?
That's not accurate to my knowledge.
Oh, it is accurate, it's on video.
Mr. Sullivan, do you want an answer to your question?
I want to know why I do not get these paper versions of these. Look, I sat here in a meeting last year when y'all handed each of us a packet of that exact descriptive invoices to prove a point that I cost the district $5,000, $6,000. Now you're telling me I'm not good enough to see what you all handed me to try to embarrass me in a public meeting, which is what y'all tried to do. So now you're coming back and saying, well, we don't want you to see him anymore, Dwayne, because we don't have a purpose. We don't want to tell the public that you just cost us $6 grand writing a right to know. See, I find that a bit disingenuous, Nick. I really do. I do. It is disingenuous that you all say that. You handed me, I still have the packet. I still have it. You all handed me word for word the packet because you wanted to shame me in a public meeting. And yet today you say, we're worried about leaks. Well, you weren't worried about it when you hand me that. And that's my whole point. This is all political. This is going after me. That's all you want to do. That's all you guys want to do.
Who's on board leadership? I don't even know what's on the board.
No, board, it doesn't matter. These solicitor invoices, I've been getting them for over 11 months without an issue.
Okay. You talk, now I'm good. So,
I have a big problem with it.
you have full access to see the solicitor. You're saying that we're trying to keep you from seeing them.
Well, you are. You're not giving them to me.
Excuse me, I'm speaking. You've been given the opportunity to come in every month to review them with Dr. Mitchell. This proposal is, in theory, going to possibly make your life easier. But if you are so against it, we can just keep things the way that they are.
What I like to do, Nick, is an audit. And I can't do an audit sitting in Mitchell's office.
Dr. Mitchell, do you prevent him from looking at the solicitor bill?
No, it's not that, an audit.
But Dave said he'll sit with you and tell you, go over it with you.
No, I can't do an audit when he's sitting there because it takes my time to do an audit. Not a cumulative of the bills, but I audit to make sure you all are following policy 012. And I can't do that in Mitchell's office.
I'm not sure why you care, because you voted against the policy. So I'm not
Well,
sure why-
because it's already enacted, we should be following it.
Okay, well, it's
We are.
being followed. And you have the ability.
How do I know it's being followed? If you all are hiding the invoices.
You all, why do you keep saying you all?
Because the board decided, because as I remember, months ago, you all decided not to make this.
We're gonna eliminate. Is there any other new business?
Obviously.
So are we gonna make it, are we able to say, I mean,
He just says he just.
works for
we're
everybody?
just saying he can go in and visit.
Okay, that's fine, all right,
If he doesn't want them available and have an hour before the meeting, then no sense.
okay.
All right, anything else? Is
What are you
there,
talking about?
is there
Can't
a,
do an audit.
is there a motion to adjourn the regular session?
So moved, Dressler.
Second, Steve Buren.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed?